RCindustry. Here, and I'm over at Fleetwood Fabrications. If you haven't checked out their YouTube channel yet, well, you need to do that. So Dave and Amy Fleetwood, go over there and subscribe to their channel. That'd be good. We're going to take a look at some of his stuff here and show you more.
Oh, wow. That one. We got it going again, but a guy in Bedford, Indiana built that originally. He took him from like 59 to 64. And it's got 65 assembled unknown title, and we had him ship it back to us, you know, stamped void. So she's still got the original title in there somewhere.
Wow.
And
now, see, that's cool.
It's probably started. I started it recently.
It should start.
Yeah. We haven't had it out much this summer, but when we started there, we got many, you know.
Oh, that's awesome.
If it's got gas in it too. It's
now that I don't know, because you robbed my gas quite regularly. He knows I run high octane, so he'll put it in his bikes.
Frame. It's got part of the Suzuki frame. And that one, that's the one I ride back and forth to work in the summer, and I took it on the Trans Am Trail and the Kentucky Adventure Trail. It's heavy, but it does about everything fairly well. And then that little Harley back there is a 73 350 AM F Harley. It's a Italian Air Machi pretty much with Harley emblems on it, but that's a low miles, really good running bike. I ride it back and forth to work. And then that one on the other side of it is a BSA Victor. It's got the rod knocking. And then the blue bike is a little 350 Honda, and that thing, it needs a battery right now. But it starts and runs like a champ, and it's nearly indestructible.
I had a little 350 Honda too, or a Honda as well, I should say too.
Be careful around here with oil and junk.
And I remember it was pretty indestructible. It was a street bike, and we used to take it in the strip pits and ride it around. And it was like, you know, the poor fenders would drag and everything. But
yeah, that's what that thing is like. I've threatened to sell it many a times because those are popular little bikes. But Amy's like, you know, when all the rest of them don't run, that one runs.
Oh, the little Honda?
I gotta have something I can touch the ground on.
Oh, yeah.
They just don't make any big bikes that are nice and short.
Yeah, and that's that 413 RV motor there, industrial. So it's got a set of 64 car heads on it, just the small valve closed chamber heads. And
let me back up and get a picture of what is this car? This is a...
That is a 55 New Yorker Deluxe, but it's got the Imperial grill in it, which is basically what the 55 300, the first 300, it was actually a two-door Saratoga with Imperial grill, and then had some of its own special trim features, you know. So we're just trying to make our own 300, because 55 300s they actually are going a little cheaper than they used to. At one point, a 55 300 done would bring 50 grand. But now they're like $35,000 range for, I mean, that's a museum piece.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. And so we just try to make our own, and I'd really like to get that.
Boy, look at that! I mean,
stock seat.
I love the taillights.
This car, kind of like you was talking about your Chrysler, there was no trunk in it, and all the metal and bracing underneath, and this was gone. And so this made all that stuff, and that's the that's the Ram Charger roof.
Oh, that's where, you said you cut that out,
But them ribs, you know, make it nice and strong.
Sure. Well, you'd have had to put something in there like that, so yeah.
And then it's already wired up for a trailer plug when I get my
that's good.
Get my Reese hitch and bumper back on it. And I've got like all the gauges working on this thing, don't they? Even the speedometer. It's the only car we got. Well, Manny's my boy's PT Cruiser, I guess. But it's like the only car we got that all the gauges work, and even the dash lights.
It's a dangerous. You know you're gonna have to pump the time out of that thing.
code nature. It don't have a color better. Power flight in it, so I just had reverse, neutral, drive, and low. And so I had to make the lever on the linkage longer because I got a 727 in it. So park is reverse, and then you can only get it down in the second gear. It won't go all the way in the first. But for just a driver, you know, it works.
Wow, cool.
But this car, it's got a 1990 Chevy Cavalier rack and pinion steering setup on it, and Ford Granada disc brakes, and 80s model Dodge full-size van coil springs and shocks, which went right on there. I had to die grinder the lower A-arm just a hair to get the shocks to slide up through. And it's got 3-inch drop spindles on the front, and 73 Charger rear end with 5-inch lowering blocks. And the bottom half of the steering column is Dodge Dakota, and it had the sliding double D steering shaft, you know, and it slid right into that Chevy Cavalier.
Really?
Shaft. Yeah, just slid right in there to the U-joint. And then if you had the stock steering setup on this thing, a set of B-body headers would just go right on this car. Yeah, we used to pull a trailer full of dirt bikes on it, and
Oh, that's an Austin Cambridge, huh?
yeah, and there's when we got this car, the old man passed away. He bought it new. He was 90-some years old. Willed it to his granddaughter, and she immediately put it on eBay. And he'd had it painted in 2000. And when we got it, it was a nice little car. After driving it all winter long and stuff in Indiana 4 or 5 years, you know, it started getting pretty rough. And
Yeah.
I quit driving it because the clutch went out, and the floors are all gone, and that British stuff, I put the Dodge motor in it and tranny, and it holds up pretty good, but it's like every place you weld a shock mount or a bracket on, you had to put a piece of steel plate about this big to mount it
To hook it to.
You just hook it to the British steel. I pulled a foot of the original frame rail out from under this car on the front spring hanger.
I wonder what's the difference in the way they make the metal?
Yeah, it's like if you push on this British metal, like, you know, American car and stuff, it'll like plop plop. You push a door in on this or whatever, a fender will just go clunk and stay there.
It doesn't come back out.
Yeah, it's not, I don't know. It's something.
Oh yeah, that's plenty of motor for the front of that.
Squeeze.
Yeah.
This car runs 890s in the 8s, and it don't hook up very good at all. But Toyota truck radiator out here in front of the support, and then see they had to cut 2 inches off the Dodge fan to get it in there.
Yeah, so it wouldn't.
But you know, once or twice we got like real hot outside and got stuck in traffic for
Yeah,
like
that's what
45
does it.
minutes.
Yeah.
It might just spit a little, but not actually get hot. And it's got the old GMC dual master cylinder back here. It does your clutch and your brakes, which is what I've got on my chop Plymouth too.
Wow.
And then just the old Dodge electronic ignition, you know, like everyone puts on Mopars. And I had to make those headers too, make them fit. And
Yeah.
I'm Dave Fleetwood, and this is my lovely wife, Amy Fleetwood. And we're just hanging out at the house here today, all dirty and been working. But RCindustry, he's got a really awesome 300 Chrysler and a Power Wagon and a lot of cool stuff. Does a lot of good videos, so check him out. And you might see us on his video, I guess. But it's good to be with like-minded folks that like to go places. We met him for the first time in person in Sikeston at the NoNameNationals. Had a great time there. Everyone there had a great time. And we're looking forward to more stuff like that. Hopefully they'll have one next year.
Yeah, hope to see you guys there next year.
You
So.
have anything to say?
I'm good.
Oh, all right. Well, thanks for showing me around today.
All right.
I was walking down the street, I was minding my own affair.
Run, Tallulah, run.
Hi, baby.